Hello, this is Randy with RC Insurance, and today I'm sitting down with Zach from Montana from BWC, Billings Wrestling Club. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about wrestling. I mean, one of the things that when I was on the plane from Seattle to Montana, half of the plane was all wrestlers. And it was cool because we didn't know we were going to be on a plane for, whatever 2 hours it was. And we were talking about wrestling. And I wanted to share this with you. When we were on there, we haven't been to a tournament in a very long time because our state's still shut down.
Right.
A lot of things. And when we got on the plane, they're like, oh, kids from Washington, kids from Wyoming, Dakota, they were all attending that Montana Open.
Yep.
It was a pretty cool tournament. Have you competed in that before?
I haven't competed in it. I've actually coached in it the last 4 years. Amazing experience. I think it's the biggest tournament that we host in Montana right now. This year, I think there was like 2,100 kids, I believe.
Wow.
But this year was awesome. Our team actually won the team trophy this year, the large team trophy.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of, young kids, girls. There was a lot of girls.
Yep.
Growing up, you probably could relate. There wasn't too many girls wrestling growing up.
No, not at all. Even not just the youth, but the high school season here in Montana, the numbers that came out for it is just amazing, man. Like to see the girl wrestling in Montana grow, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, they got this is their first year, correct me if I'm wrong, that they have their own state tournament.
Yep, this was their first year, yep.
That's awesome. And as there's a lot of more Division I, Division II programs, collegiate programs that are opening up for girls too.
Right. Yeah, it just opens so much more opportunity up for the girls that compete in wrestling.
Yes. Unfortunately, the men's programs are having to struggle, but the women's divisions and their programs are growing. Right. And even the Olympics, we're going to go into the Olympics, and there's the women's team looks pretty strong as well. Have you been keeping up with that?
I did. I watched both the Olympic trials. My cutout was in the background of the Olympic trials this year, so I got to see myself live on the camera. It was pretty cool.
Oh, no way! That's cool.
But both men's and women's team actually look really tough this year. I'm excited to see how they do.
I was surprised to see Jordan Burroughs.
Yeah.
Man,
I just think it's Diggs' time though. It's his time. He put in the work.
Yeah, and there was that 17-year-old girl from Wyoming that almost made the team.
She was in the finals, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who did she end up wrestling?
Tamika or Tamara, so some girl, some already girl that's been wrestling internationally.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. 17 years old, man. That's young. That's cool.
That's a lot of still wrestling life left ahead.
Yep.
Not too many 7-year-olds go as far as she did.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's I think it's just going to be like good role model for these girls that are wrestling now, that are coming up.
Definitely. I think she's that kind of new generation of wrestlers, right. Especially that young. Exactly. And then you have the veterans like Gray and Morelos that are returning. I keep more right now in touch with the women's side because I have 2 daughters.
Right.
And so they wrestle, so they could kind of gravitate towards that. But tell me about your experience wrestling and how you got started.
Like I said earlier, I was adopted when I was 6 years old. And wrestling was like the first thing I got into. And it's been pretty much my life ever since. I wrestled all through my younger years, all the way up to middle school. Middle school is about when I really started getting into like freestyle Greco, going to camps, doing all like the Western regionals, the Fargo Cadet National tournaments, just like that. Being involved in that in freestyle Greco is just makes you so much better wrestler, I think. You learn so much more, especially going to like summer camps and those big Western regionals and Fargo tournaments. So wrestling in Montana has been pretty much like my life. That's pretty much all I've done is wrestle. I tried out other sports and stuff, but wrestling was the only sport that I actually stuck with throughout. Up until high school.
And I think there's so much more. There's a lot of valuable lessons in individual sports. And I would say I can, I can relate and I can testify on the sport because it teaches you so much more discipline,
Right. No, I totally agree. See,
eating.
like the great thing about wrestling is it just doesn't teach you not only to compete as an athlete, but it teaches life lessons on and off the mat as well. Teach you self-discipline, how to work hard, the ability to bounce back from defeat, um, respect. I've learned a lot of, growing up just from the sport of wrestling alone.
There's man, I think that a life lesson right there, how to bounce back from defeat. That is huge.
Yeah.
And in the business world, how do you bounce back from rejection? It's
Right.
kind of the same thing. I mean, like some of the guys, like we're talking about JB Jordan, he was only like I think a one-time national champ,
Right.
and man, he's come a long way compared to some of the guys who's been 3, 4-time national champs.
Right. Because
It's
he
just the
just wanted his senior year, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just being persistent and setting goals and just achieving them.
Right.
Those are the things I
Exactly.
think this sport teaches you.
Right. Yep. The self-discipline, man, is the biggest thing I've really learned from wrestling is learning how to win and lose, not only on the mat, but in life as well.
Yes, definitely. So tell me now, as a coach, what's your philosophy on coach and approach on coaching?
Have fun. I love having fun. I mean, I know there's a lot of hard work, takes a lot of work to be a good wrestler, but at the end of the day, it's all about having fun.
I agree. Being around the sport, there's a lot of kids that get burned out.
Right.
Yeah, and
Agreed.
I see everybody's philosophy is a little bit different. I know, like you're saying, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but there's been a lot of talented kids that I see come and succeed at early ages before they hit high school, and once they go into high school, they're burned out.
Right. Exactly. I agree. To me, coaching is much more rewarding to me. Um, just being able to go out there and and pass down the things that I've learned throughout my years of wrestling, and then going out and see these kids doing it in tournaments. Whether they're winning or losing, they're still learning and practice, and they're still translating it to the mat. It's awesome seeing that.
So one of the things that I have with my kids when I coach too is I do take the fun approach, and I do take when you're on the mat you take it seriously, but have fun. And I know that the philosophy that I have is that when the time is right and when you're ready to take it to the next step, there's a different level of commitment.
Yep.
And once you understand that level of commitment and what it takes, then we're gonna, like for example, instead of doing 10 push-ups, do 20.
Right.
Instead of doing 15 sit-ups, you do 30, whatever.
Yep. Just going that extra mile, just to better yourself each and every day.
Yeah, and then once you're ready to compete at the highest level, know and understand that the level of commitment and the discipline is a lot more than when you were having fun.
Right. No, that's like I said earlier, like when I got into middle school and high school, that's when I knew it was like time to really start grinding, hitting those big tournaments, seeking out better competition,
Yeah,
working all summer when people are out having fun.
and I think that in itself is a maturity of the development of the wrestler individually.
Right.
Because
Agreed.
some don't go to that level, regardless if they're 14 or 15 or 16, but some are ready at that level at a younger age.
So, some just have that switch, that just flips and
Yeah,
they're ready to go.
yeah, yeah. So tell me what what are the things as you mentioned that your new role is president of BWC.
Yep. Yep.
So what are the
So,
transitions?
so this is one thing that I've actually grown to appreciate and respect about the sport of wrestling is there's so much more that goes on behind practice doors than running a club than that people know. Like getting clubs chartered so that you can have practices. All the kids have insurance cards. Setting up tournaments, camps, all that stuff. Just making sure that everything runs smoothly, that we can keep the doors open. There's a lot of work that goes on behind doors that people don't even know.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even to be recognized as USA club,
Right.
you go through a bunch of paperwork, through a bunch of process, and you need to have all your ducks in a row.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did like so much paperwork just to get the club chartered because we do both AAU and USAW.
Mm.
So we had to charter with both clubs or both sanctions, and yeah, it's just a lot more work than people think that goes on behind doors.
And I think like a club and or as it relates to business, I think that the vision and the mission of the club has to be in order, and then you
Right.
establish your culture of coaches and philosophies and all that stuff is develops a good club.
Right. Yeah. This year was tough with the COVID outbreak and everything. Is just all the steps we had to go through just to keep the doors open, for kids to come and practice. I mean, it's been a frustrating year to say.
So when I visited BWC, I came across that BWC because I was on the forum on classifieds.
Right.
And a lot of clubs, a lot of people are saying BWC, BWC. I'm like, all right, let's go check out this BWC. But so quick question, tell me about the story of the church. Because I thought I was going to church when I was going to go visit you guys.
So the people, the levels training gym, they bought the building and they restored it all, and it's a beautiful place, man. Like the boxing club, everything. So that's just they just pretty much bought it, and that's what they turned it into. It's crazy
Yeah.
though, because my son was baptized in that church, and
Oh,
I used to go to service there and everything all the time.
yeah, it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
gym it's brand new. It looks brand new. The boxing club, you had a bunch of kids there. And it's nice, nice
yeah.
bags, nice ring. And the wrestling room was pretty nice, neat. I was impressed. I honestly, I was like, wait, am I in the wrong place?
Right. No, I think it's in the perfect spot too, because you got all the kids that live close there. They have somewhere to go, where they want to wrestle or if they want to box. It's in a perfect position for those kids to go there.
Then I think when the weather is nice too, you go across the street, and you run sprints
Yep, exactly.
because
That's
there's a
right.
park right there.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So another question that I have for you, if you can teach, or if you can tell your younger version of yourself something that's going to improve you as a better wrestler, what would it be?
Just keep pushing, keep working hard. I could have worked out a lot harder than I did. I wish I would have, but I truly believe everything happens for a reason.
Of course.
But I would tell myself just to keep pushing harder, keep working.
Is there a quote or a mantra that you live by?
Just one day at a time.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Randy with RC Insurance. Thank you very much for having me all the way from Billings, Montana. Thank you.
Thank you.